Our final technique is called choosing love over fear. This technique number 7 is an ability to use your bechira, your free will, to choose one of 2 ways of serving Hashem. According to the Ran, in Drashos Haran in Rosh Hashanah, he says there are only 2 ways of serving Hashem: love, ahava, and fear. Therefore, he says there are only 2 main foundation emotions in life, which give rise to and are the basis for all emotions in life. Love, ahava, when one is feeling loved by Hashem, loved by others, that one feels that they can be a giver. Happy, compliment, positivity, rhapsody, simcha, joy, chesed. Chesed to others stems from feeling good about myself. If I'm self-absorbed and feeling not good about myself, I don't have the mind space, the head space to be able to be a giver. I'm always thinking of how I can take for myself and get for myself. The alternative and second emotion after love is this one: fear. Love or fear. If I don't feel loved and I feel fear instead, yira, I'll end up being a taker, looking after myself, to take for myself. I'll be depressed, I'll be angry, and I'll be negative. Why is the foundation emotion of anger fear? What does fear have to do with anger or negativity or depression? It's a particular type of fear. If I say to you, I want to meet you at my appointment at my office at 1 o'clock, and you arrive at 4:30 in the afternoon, I become angry with you. Why did you come at 4:30? I'm angry at you. I lose myself. Besides saying, I was worried about you, I'm saying, I'm angry at you. Now I'm suggesting that anger is sourced in fear. What am I fearing? For this to be true, I have to be able to identify what is it that I'm really fearing when you come at 4:30 instead of 1 o'clock. So what do you think? What do you think is the core fear I'm experiencing when you come at 4:30? I fear that you don't value me. You don't respect my time. You don't respect who I am. Come at 4:30, 1 o'clock, who cares about him? I'll come at 4:30 when I want to. What I'm really fearing when I'm angry at you is I'm fearing you don't value me. You don't respect me. The underlying cause of anger, and when a spouse criticizes someone else, is because they're feeling lack of value. You didn't come home on time. The dinner got burnt. I'm mad at you. Why? What does the dinner burning have to do with anger? Why am I angry at you? The underlying subconscious cause of my anger is I fear you don't think I'm important enough to call to let me know I'm going to be late. I fear you don't value my efforts. So underlying my criticism and my negativity is a fear that you don't value me. I'm not worthy enough of your time, your effort to come on time or to call me when you're going to be late. That's the source of my anger. And so the way to heal this is our system. Our 7-step system is to be able to choose love over fear. I can only choose love if I feel valued. How can I choose value? If I have a sense of my strengths, my self-esteem wheel, which is technique number 1, a cognitive technique saying I have intellectual strengths, like Hashem gave me. I have social skills that I've been given by Hashem. I have a personality. I have midos, I have character. I have a spiritual quality to me. I seek out a connection with Hashem. I have a family background, a family of origin, and my own particular family that I'm raising right now. I have personal accomplishments and growth. I'm growing, I'm developing myself. If I have that kind of awareness, then I can choose love. I can choose to live with love and giving and positivity and compliments and happiness. I go to my soul state, technique number 2, and feel emotionally valued. Emotionally valued because I have a neshama state. And I go to my beautiful place, realizing that place is an expression of who I am. I can use the technique number 3, which is my sense of circle of control. There are things I can't control, but there are things that I can control. And if I superimpose my wheel of strengths on my circle of control, I say, I can handle this situation. I can react with positivity. I can react from my highest self, from my soul state self, instead of my animalistic Bahamas self. Then I can use my circle of control and say, I have value, and I can react with value. And I can choose love. The thought highway gets in the way. My thoughts get in my way. And my ability to clear them, like go to my soul state. I am not my thoughts. Thoughts are merely electrical impulses in the brain, which are based on experiences and memories that reside in my hippocampus, in my brain. They're not real in the same way that my neshama is real. The real part of me is the part of me that Hashem instilled in me and of Himself, which made me like Him, domelo, resembling Him. That's the real me. The thoughts get in the way. If the thoughts are used as a tool of my neshama, then I'm using my thoughts correctly. If the neshama is blocked by the thoughts, and therefore if I use the thought highway and I let the thoughts go by, I disengage from my thoughts. Yeah, that's a thought. I remember my negativity. I remember my upbringing that it was negative, but that's not who I am. I am my soul state. I am my midah tova. I can heal those thoughts. Let the thoughts pass. Let them go. Disengage from them. Go back to soul state. Who am I? This is work I have to do for myself, to center, ground myself, who I am. Despite what people say or do around me, I have to ground myself. It's my own responsibility. My self-esteem and self-confidence is my responsibility. Nobody can give it to me. Nobody is coming to save me. I have to save myself. I have to go to my inner child and save myself. Save myself. Go to my adult self, has to find my child self, and that's the inner work that I have to do to save myself. Technique number 5 is cognitive distortions. I have to think straight. And that's called CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. I can do that on myself. I can write down what distortions I have. What is that main statement I am saying to myself which is causing me to feel fear and undervalue? I'm not good enough. I'll never amount to anything. I'm a loser. I'm a failure. That cognitive distortion is guilty of one of those 8 negative distortions we've talked about earlier in technique number 5. And so I have to correct those cognitive distortions and write down the correct statement, the mantra I need to say to myself. And you know something? That mantra I need to say to myself is very similar to the mantra that in technique number 6 is my adult self, my parent self said to my child self. It's the same mantra. So these are overlapping concepts, which one leads to the next. The technique number 5 is when I write down the right mantra to say to myself, and I learn that mantra, it's the same mantra that my adult self, my parenting self, says to my child self. You're okay. You're smart. You're a giver. You're a helpful person. You're responsible. You're chesed. You're chen. You're emistic. Same mantra. That's the inner child technique, number 6. And now number 7, because of all these 6 techniques, the 7th technique, the Shabbos technique, the 7th spiritual dimension. The Maral says that number 6 represents 6 physical dimensions. The 7th is the spiritual dimension. The 7th technique, number 7, of choosing love over fear brings all of the other 6 techniques into focus. If I use the ability to choose love over fear, choose that I feel loved, think about consciously, from a cognitive perspective, from an emotional perspective, and from a behavioral perspective, I'm able to say to myself, I am valuable. Now, what is this behavioral perspective? This part of my body, my collarbone, is called my light point. If I hold the light point upward, I can feel valued. I can carry my Tzelem Elokim. But if my light point is down here, I feel talking to people like I'm a depressed, undervalued, inadequate person. How does a ballet dancer stand? Does she stand like this? Does her thing? Or does she stand like this? What's the difference between me standing like this, with my light point down, hi, how are you, nice to meet you, and standing like this? Pleasure to meet you, how are you? The difference is what? This way engenders confidence in you, because I'm exuding confidence. Why? Because my light point, my body, my behavioral self is up. My light point is up. I speak out over the light point, not, hi, how are you, nice to meet you. So if I stand this way, and this is the core, and I invite you to do exercises to develop your inner core. One must exercise every day. Why? Because that builds up our behavioral self, our body self. Our body self needs to feel strong and physically fit to be able to contain the neshama. So exercise every day. Elliptical, treadmill, walking. Use weights, sit-ups, push-ups, the plank. Develop that inner core so you can be able to stand like this. We don't stand like this because I feel good about myself. It comes from an inner self. The inner core light point comes because I believe in myself and I become aware and conscious of my inner self, which is valuable, and I'm able to carry myself that way. I can walk that way. If I talk to my children that way from my light point and say, children, it's bedtime now. And I'm strong, and I'm firm, but loving, and my light point, my body is upward and wide and strong, I'll be listened to. But if my body is down, light point is down, and I don't feel good about myself, I say, please go to bed. I need some time for myself now. Please, give me a break. They'll take complete advantage of me. You've been there? I've been there. But if I say, Salam Elokim, use all my 7 techniques, dear, it's time to go to bed now. If I'm strong and I act with my body strength, my behavioral technique of being shalom with myself, then they will not be able to drive a truck through me. They'll be able to say, yes, Dad, I'll go to bed. Sure, Abba. Sure, Tati, I'll go to bed now. Because I am exuding confidence. I believe in what I'm saying, and it's time to go to bed now. I'll read you a story, tuck you in, bedtime now. Now, what else can we do from a choosing love perspective? Not choosing fear, but choosing love. And let's put this one back, because I don't want to end by choosing fear. I want to end our program, our 7-step program, by choosing love, by choosing to feel love. So I want you to be able to write down now 10 things that you would not like to live without. In your journal, I want you to write down ways you can choose to look at the hakaras hatov, the gratitude you have in your life. Write down 10 things that you have appreciation for. 10 things you don't want to live without. Let's write them down now. Go ahead. I'll wait. Write down 10 things that you appreciate that you do not want to live in your life without. Your eyes, your brain, you'll be able to speak, your friends, your wife, your husband, your children, your neighbors, your learning, your Torah, your creativity, your hobby, whatever your favorite opportunity is, your favorite gift is, your favorite ability is. Shoes, I can't live without shoes. A pillow, who can sleep without a pillow? Things you don't want to live without. Look at that list. Write down 10 things. I should ask you to write down 30 things you can't live without. 50 things you can't live without. And in fact, on our kitchen wall, we have a list of 10 things for every person in the family. Has 10 items they write down, and we put it in front of ourselves in the kitchen. Every time we have breakfast, we look at our list and say, I have hakaras hatov for these 10 things, to remind myself of these 10 things. Write them down and put them on the wall in your kitchen. And now ask yourself the following question. Who gave me these things? Who has given them to me? The answer is Hashem. Now ask the following question. Why did you give them to me, Hashem? What would Hashem say? Hashem would say, because I love you. And what do you want from me? Hashem, all I want is for you to say thank you. Gratitude. Having hakaras hatov to Hashem and writing them down and being aware of them and reviewing it every single day will build you up a sense of that you are loved, that you are valued. And when you feel loved, then you'll be able to be a giver, you'll be able to be happy, to compliment, and be positive. I want you to review this for homework every single day. Read your hakaras hatov list every day. Put it in your siddur and read it every day. Review it and feel it, experience it every single day. I want you to make another list right now. Write down 5 things which are going right in your life right now. 5 things going right in my life? Well, I can easily tell you 5 things are going wrong in my life, right? That's easy. Write down 5 things which are going right in your life today. Go ahead. I'll wait. Write down 5 positive things which are happening, which are going well in your life right now. We're programmed to look at what's negative, what's not going right. But I want you to write down 5 things which are working in your life right now. Go ahead. I'm working, I have a job, I'm looking for a job, my back's working, my legs are working, my hands are working, my eyes are working, my hearing is working, my friendships are working, my chavrusa is working. What's going right? My kids are growing up, my kids are going to school. Write down the 5 positive things that are going right in your life right now. Review it every day. Add to that list. Look at things positively. And you can only do that. Be positive and be complimentary and be happy and giving if you feel loved, if you feel valued, if you feel like things are going well in your life right now. And now I want you to catch your children red-handed doing something right. Catch your husband or your wife red-handed doing something right. It's very easy to catch them red-handed doing something wrong and say, don't do that, stop doing that, put that down, hurry up, carpool's coming, don't forget your lunch. But I want you to catch your spouse and your child red-handed doing something right. Compliment them. Be positive with them. Encourage them. Give them chizuk. Give them positivity. If you feel positive based on these 7 techniques, then you'll be able to give over positivity to them. The Rambam uses the lashon, a person should awaken from their slumber, on 2 occasions in the Rambam. The first occasion is by Tkiyah Shofar. He says, by Uru Yeshenim Meshenaschem, a person is Yeor Meshenasai, a person wakes up from their slumber when he hears the shofar and reminds himself of his avodas Hashem. There's one other time the Rambam uses that lashon. In Hilchos Mezuzah, in Perek Zayin, he says the following. He says a person should yifka the mezuzah, not kiss the mezuzah, but encounter the mezuzah. Yifka, look at the mezuzah, encounter the mezuzah. V'yeor me'shenaso, and awaken from his slumber, that he has so much good. Our job is not merely to kiss the mezuzah. It is to encounter the mezuzah. To encounter that there's, in that mezuzah, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. There is godliness in this mezuzah. I encounter the godliness in that mezuzah. I think about godliness in the world, the goodness in the world, the goodness in myself, and I bring it into the room. Hashem does not want to stay on the doorposts. Kiss the mezuzah and come into the room and say, why is there a mess? Hurry up. What's the matter with you? Why are you doing that? Get your act together. Don't be so lazy. Don't be insensitive. Stop fighting. What's the matter? Clean up the mess. If you kiss the mezuzah, and I'm very frum, kiss the mezuzah, and I come in the room and I become negative, that I'm missing the point of the Shema Yisrael. There is God in this house. My job is to kiss the mezuzah, to experience the mezuzah, to see the mezuzah, to encounter it, to absorb it, to absorb Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. There is Hashem in my life. There is godliness in me. And I use it and I compliment my spouse and say, thank you, dear, for working so hard for our family. Darling, thank you so much for making dinner. Thank you so much for working hard with our children. Thank you for learning with them. You're doing a wonderful job. If I see the mezuzah and I say, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad is in me. Shema Yisrael. Listen, Israel. You are Israel. You are Yisrael. You are the Yisrael. Shema, listen. Absorb Yisrael. Look at the mezuzah. Yifka b'mezuzah. Shema Yisrael. Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. There's God in this room. Your job is to find it. Bring Hashem into the room by catching your spouse in your child doing something right. That's applying Tzelem Elokim. That's applying positivity. That's applying your godliness to your family. And that way, you'll be able to give chizuk to yourself, chizuk to your spouse, and chizuk to your children. Thank you for listening. Thanks for joining us. And please visit me on the web at www.12stepstoselfesteem.org. Call me 410-585-0497. Email me at yisroelroll@gmail.com or any questions you might have or follow-up workshops. Thanks for joining us. See you again.